Hello everyone and welcome to another video. First off, I want to thank you all for the incredible response to my video about the new longest coaster. As I record this, less than 24 hours after that video went live, it already has over 150,000 views, which is just amazing. Secondly, on the day this was uploaded, I'm going to Iceland for a week. So while I'll still upload videos that I made in advance, I won't be able to respond to the comments as much. Anyway, let's get on with the video. In this video I'm going to explain how the preferred intensity that guests have works. If you click on the face that shows the mood of the guest, you can see a line that specifies what intensity rating that guest prefers. There are a lot of different possible numbers ranging from less than 3 to between 2 and 5 to more than 9. By far the most common preference that I found during the testing that I did was more than 4. The meaning of these numbers is quite intuitive. If a guest's preferred range is between 3 and 6, it will generally only want to ride rides that have an intensity rating that is between 3 and 6. There is an exception though. If a guest has a happiness rating of 100%, it will ride rides with intensity ratings up to 2.3 points outside of its preferred range. This means that a guest that is the happiest possible and has a preferred range of less than 3 will still ride a ride with an intensity rating of 5.2. I'm not entirely sure about values between 0 and 100% happiness, but I believe that the relationship is linear, which means that a guest with 50% happiness will go on rides with up to 1.15 points outside of its preferred range. When you make a scenario, there are two options that alter the intensity preference of your guests. If you select that guests prefer less intense rides, all guests will have a preference of less than 4. If you select that guests prefer more intense rides, all guests will have a preference of more than 9. Keep in mind that if you keep your guests happy, this can extend to less than 6.3 and more than 6.7 for the less and more intense scenarios respectively. An example of a scenario where guests prefer less intense rides is Gentle Glen, and an example of a scenario where guests prefer more intense rides is Extreme Heights. If you want to know if a scenario has one of these options enabled, click a bunch of guests and check their preferences. If they're all less than 4 or if they're all more than 9, you have one of those scenarios. You might think that the guest with the preference of more than 9 or something like between 9 and 14 will ride a ride with 13 intensity as it's within its preferred range. This is not the case, however, as when a ride has over 10 intensity, guests become way less likely to go on that ride. That was it for this nice and short episode of RCT2 Explained. Thank you all for watching and I will see you in the next video.